In condemnation of this assassination attempt, it has been universal in Washington. We want to bring in right now Oklahoma's senior Senator James Lankford, who joins us live here at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, Senator Lankford, we appreciate your time here tonight. Now, it's been more than 24 hours since the shooting. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, painful as it is for the entire nation, we just continue to be able to grieve that this occurred in the United States again. And to be able to see this unfold in front of us on live TV is incredibly difficult for the country. So we continue to be able to pray, continue to be able to talk. And I am encouraged by folks on both sides of the aisle doing something that I've basically spoken out freely for the last several years. We've got to bring down the volume of the rhetoric. We have to bring down the tone. We can disagree strongly, but we shouldn't belittle and we shouldn't have all the accusations that are flying around. Let's engage.
Senator, what are some of the biggest questions that right now you are wanting answers for when it comes to what happened yesterday?
So I serve on the Homeland Security Committee. There'll be a lot of issues. We've already had some back and forth today talking through the most basic elements of this. Why was there a rooftop that was left unprotected? That was pretty straightforward, clearly within the line of sight onto the stage that should have never been left unprotected. What was the responsibility of local law enforcement? What was the responsibility of the Secret Service? And where did we drop the ball in this? I mean, that's first things first on it. And then from there, what are we doing in the future to be able to make sure we continue to be able to protect those individuals that should be protected because they represent our entire country, or they're candidates to represent our entire country?
And Senator, how do you feel like what happened this weekend is going to impact the RNC coming up in really November?
Yeah, I'll be at the RNC later on this week. I think we'll still be very focused on the issues. There's a lot that we can still talk about where we have disagreements on, whether that be tax policy, debt, deficit, Social Security, how we're going to stabilize Medicare, what we're going to do to be able to close the very open border. Those are real questions that Americans have differences of opinion. The two parties have very different opinions on. We should continue to be able to talk about those, but not get personal about it. So I'll be at the RNC later on this week. I'll continue to be able to deliver that message, as I've heard many of my colleagues delivering that on many different times today. And President Trump saying God himself actually protected him. And I think he has a real sense of he's protected for a purpose. And it's his opportunity to be able to live that purpose out.
And Senator, about President Trump right now, how do you expect him to move forward with this? What do you think the messaging is going to be from the president?
I think the messaging will be focused on the issues. Obviously, there's lots of differences of opinion. We'll see on how he actually speaks through these things in the RNC this week. We're expecting an announcement for a vice presidential candidate to become in the next 24 hours. So that's going to drive a lot of the conversation as well, as people have different preferences on that. So there's still a lot to be discussed in this very, very full week. It's just unbelievable that it started with an assassination attempt.
All righty. Thank you for your time, Senator, and safe travels this week to Wisconsin.
Thank you. Continue to pray for the nation.